According to the M2 global money supply here, Bitcoin is about to create another massive move here before it's going to be entering a major downtrend. And I am betting more than $10 million worth of trades on my next Bitcoin trade here. So on today's update video, I'm going to be talking about the levels where I think Bitcoin is going to be finding support on. I'm going to be talking, of course, exactly about what I think is going to be playing out there. I'm going to be talking about the most important charts, the Fibonacci level that I think Bitcoin is ultimately still going to be breaking above of. And of course, I'm going to talk about the reasons why we did saw this drop, what is about to be happening later this week here, which could be having a massive effect on the markets. I'm going to be, of course, talk about Ethereum. And yesterday, also in my private Telegram, I shared with you guys out there that whenever Ethereum is going to come back towards this level, I think it is going to be a great buy. And ever since it came back towards this level, Ethereum surged up over 2 to 3% here. So a lot to discuss on today's update video, new trades, new updates. So guys, don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So first of all, Bitcoin seemed to be finding some support on the lower side, where previously around, of course, we also found some support. And now, yet again, Bitcoin is ever so slightly bouncing from. What I want you to understand is that right now, on the imminent short term, we're still looking at lower highs together with lower lows here, which means that we're creating a downward sloping trend here, and it looks to be a more kind of a parabolic trend here towards the downside as well here. So yeah, the drop looks to be getting more and more exponential. So if we're going to get another lower low, I won't be surprised to see somewhat of a waterfall here for Bitcoin. And of course, I have been expecting ever since we broke this level of support that we were going to dump all the way down here, and so far that exactly played out like we predicted, also in yesterday's video and the video before that here. And of course, I closed my Bitcoin trade here on the top side, and ever since I've done so, I already announced that I was setting up new orders on Bitcoin to fill up my order, to fill up my trade again here. And now my orders are set up here, just like the same of yesterday, between 111.5k here, all the way down towards about 109,000 US dollars. I've got about $10 million worth of Bitcoin orders set up here, and I'm going to be buying towards my positions as it is going to come down here. So what I am personally expecting here is that Bitcoin, ultimately, if we're also looking still at the M2 global money supply here, is still a great buy here. But it is not going to be easy, because I think that Bitcoin is not going to create a higher low here. I think it's going to come back towards the lower side of this green box of support, first of all, which previously around was, of course, major resistance, and now I think it's going to be flipping into support. But I don't think it's going to be on the top side of this level. Why? Is because if we're looking back at all these previous corrections in the market, you can just clearly see here that every single time before we create another move higher, we first saw a slight little liquidity grab on the lower side, where Bitcoin, of course, confirmed a lower low in the market to fool out most of the traders. And I think something similar is once again yet expected. And of course, as this is going to be playing out, most of the traders are going to get fooled. They don't know what is going to be happening. They think we're creating a lower low. They're going to be going short. They're getting squeezed. And of course, we bounce back towards the upside. So yeah, I ultimately think that around 109,000 US dollars is going to be the ultimate bottom for Bitcoin. And that is just personally where I'm betting very heavily on right now here. And I mean, you can see we broke the upward sloping support line, but ultimately I am betting still on the global liquidity to see, of course, still that slight little move towards the upside before ultimately we are coming very close towards the end stage of the cycle. Because if I am looking towards the data, I really think that we only have about 6 weeks left here before Bitcoin is ultimately going to be peaking out here. So yes, I don't think we have a lot of time left in this bull market, but of course we still have some time left here. And I mean, for me, it's going to be very important to see the break above the 122,000 US dollar level. If we can manage to break above this Fibonacci level, I think Bitcoin is going to be running all the way up towards about $137,000. And ultimately, I will be taking my first profits on my trade on 122k here, which is of course a major resistance. And then after that, I will be running 50% of my position all the way up to about 135,000 US dollars. So that is going to be my trade setup right now here. And guys, if you want to be trading yourself as well, if you use right now the first link in today's video description, you will get not only a 25% fee rebate, but you will get also a free $1,000 position on Ethereum. And if you actually deposit more funds here, let's say you deposit 10k here, you will get a free 10,000 US dollar Ethereum trade on the WEX exchange here. And of course, if you also sign up And of course, since you get a 25% fee rebate, it literally makes this the cheapest exchange out there to trade on. So if you're looking for any reliable exchange that is good and that is of course cheap to operate on, check it out in the first link in today's video description, because VX is definitely the place here. Then of course, quickly talking about the reasons why we saw this dump here. Of course, we know that right now the odds of a potential rate cut are dropping ever so slightly. It's now only 85% here, while before was like 100% sure we're going to get the rate cut. And due to that, not only Bitcoin, but especially Ethereum took a massive hit here. But of course, tomorrow we're going to get the jobless claims, and this Friday we're going to get a speech from Powell, and this is going to be heavily influencing the Federal Reserve interest rate target. So guys, this is going to be important to be watching, because this is basically the consensus where the market is moving towards here. And of course, right now we're seeing that big institutions are loading up on Ethereum shorts there. Ultimately, also yesterday, and I quickly want to show you this, because yesterday in the general chat, I was of course speaking to you guys out there, and I said, personally, whenever Ethereum is going to come back towards this level, which is of course on the background this exact level right here, I think it's going to be a gift to of course open up new trades here. Of course, I also keep you guys up to date on all my Bitcoin trades, what I'm doing with my orders. And yesterday as well, we had, because we are in this group with 4 and 5 other professional traders, Rachel opened up this short position, and look at this, boom. And he got filled, and boom, he hit his take profit target. So guys, we are here trading all together, and you can join us as well in the private Telegram group here if you go to the second link in today's video description. It's very easy to join, so make sure to check it out right now in the second link of today's video description. It's very valuable because we're making a lot of profit all together, and yeah. Also, once again, this level on Ethereum was perfectly scalped here, because ultimately what we were looking at is a major level previous resistance, and then boom, we retested it, and we're currently starting to be bouncing from it. And also for me, I can't make a specific video just purely about this level on Ethereum, so that is why I can just easily share it in the Telegram group instead of course making an entire YouTube video about it. So guys, we're doing absolutely amazing in the group here, and ultimately I believe it is still a good opportunity in the market, because as of this moment of time here, we're seeing that a lot of retail investors are selling off their Ethereum, while large investors are actually still loading up here. So guys, I really believe it's still a great time to be paying attention towards the market. Of course, Bitcoin is about to get once again ready for potentially a slight little more further drop here. I am expecting a slight drop further before I'm going to get entered. Of course, if we're already going to be bouncing, I will just have my Ethereum trade run towards the upside again here, because Ethereum is for sure going to be hitting new all-time highs here. But anyways, I hope Bitcoin is going to come down ever so slightly lower, because ultimately I think the bottom target is going to be between those levels I have set up my orders at here. And of course, Ethereum is just going to be following from off that point onwards. So guys, this is what I'm betting on. This is what I think is going to be playing out here. But anyways, thanks so much for watching towards the amazing new update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.